Okay guys, we're going to have a look at the last war against Akincilar, Turkish clan, clan perk 8. Decent war. We managed to 2-star all their Town Hall 11s, 2-star all the Town Hall 10s, and we 3-starred 2 of their Town Hall 10s, 5 and 8. 3-starred their Town Hall 9s and below, apart from their number 13, which was a bit tricky for a couple of our guys. There was Teslas around this area, and it made it difficult to draw out the clan castle. It should really have been 3-starred, but proved a bit tricky, so maybe one of our guys wants to try that base. Okay, fairly short replay video this. I'm just going to do six replays, so we'll get straight in. We'll have a look at Mitch's raid on there, number 12. Just really putting this in as like a how-to on this go whiz strategy that we're having a bit of success with. It's basically 4 jumps, 3 around the outside, making good access to the base, and 1 more jump further in to get you into the base. 2 golems in each jump, and then whizzes behind, heroes in the middle jump there. So if you're having any problems with getting your head around this attack, which seems strange because it is fairly straightforward, this is a good example of how to go about doing it. So 2 golems at each jump, wizards in behind, heroes into the centre jump once the outer buildings have gone, so that they don't go wandering. And once they're in there, we've got another jump further into the base. And although Mitch does lose most of his troops by the end of this raid, he's got his heroes left and manages to get the 3-star. So generally take a rage when you're doing this. So there's 4 jump, 1 rage. Generally rage when you're around about the town hall somewhere. And generally a few extra troops just to assist in clearing up towards the end. Didn't use his poisons. There weren't much use on a hound anyway, but could have slowed down the archer queen or something with him, or skelly traps maybe. Still got the ability left on the archer queen. There we go, there's your 3 stars. Okay, we're going to look at Foo's raid on the number 9. Very close to a 3-star. This really unfortunate. Foo's been out of wars for a couple of weeks, just upgrading his heroes a little bit, as he's just gone to Town Hall 10. Really unfortunate to miss out on this. But if he'd have had, I think, 1 or 2 levels bit higher on his arch queen, maybe he may have just nicked that, but not to be. So basically opened up all the base with the earthquake there, broken into the base, got the troops in, which is protected by the golems and a few heroes. Rage in front of the town hall. All the witches and skellies going forward. I think if we'd have taken an extra freeze rather than the jump there to get over there, it would have been 3 stars that. But it's all if buts and maybes, I suppose. But the way that this base is kind of set out, doesn't matter which way you go at it, all your troops are going to kind of proceed around the outside, which is pretty ideal for witches. It means you're kind of, meeting the defences one-on-one. So Makes it fairly straightforward, even with a few witches, just to keep ploughing through the base. So we'll just speed this up a little bit, because it does take a bit of time. So we're just starting to slow down now. Wizards can be a pain in the arse when you're coming in with witches, because they do take out skeletons fairly en masse. You know, they do take out quite a few, so it tends to stall the raid when you come up against a wizard tower. So we're just down to, I think, one witch now. So it's a big house. Depends where the Archqueen targets, but you know, it's the range on the, even though it's a low arch tower, it still packs a punch and gets decent range. So it's unfortunate, but like I said, maybe if there was another 1 or 2 levels on that Archer Queen, should have been okay there. So it's a good raid and hard luck. Okay, gonna look at my raid on the number 8, which is another witch raid. Pretty open base, this one. So we're going to go in with a quake over this area, but you know, that will remove those walls. But obviously, when you're sending in your troops and your witches from this bottom here, there's going to be a tendency, obviously, when they get to sort of round about where this mortar is, they're going to go for the nearest, obviously the nearest building. So I really wanted to direct them forward, so I wanted to get rid of these buildings here to the sides. So you'll see me send in some breakers and some golems into this area, and then we can just start kind of funneling a little bit, just taking out these outside buildings, and then we can get on with the raid and get in there. Just something on this one, I did take 2 freezes for this. The Infernos are set on multi, so it can be pretty tough with witches, but the Infernos are right on about the extremes of what you can freeze there. But just to make sure I got the right spot for the freeze, I just made like a reference point. So I kind of, if you will, not so much measured, but I looked at the distance between those two Infernos there, and I decided that little spot of snow there is kind of like midpoint. So that's the kind of point I was aiming for each time. So just what I find useful is, if I'm doing that, is to set like a reference point for the center of the freeze if you're doing that. So I actually hit both Infernos twice with the freeze, so I'm quite pleased with that. So we've got Quake going in to open up to the core. We only need 4 breakers, but I'm just taking a couple extra just to make sure they don't kind of wander or anything like this one did there. There was no spring trap or anything, so taking 2 more than necessary, but it's got the job done. Okay, so we've all got the troops in now. We're going to have a rage in this area. It's going to get things moving. And you'll see the freeze right on that little patch of snow there. And the next one's going to follow up, same spot, with a rage. Barb King's down now. Could have really done with this golem coming out a bit earlier, but as you'll see, it worked out alright. And getting to about this point, I thought the raid was going to be failing, really. You know, we've still got 2 high-level wizard towers here, and they're going to be doing damage to these witches. So Still got some witches down here. Just speed this up a little bit. So Arch Queen's on her last legs here. Just about gets that. Once that mortar's down, it's game over. And you've got two witches. They're not going to. These cannons aren't going to be able to cope with the skeletons. So it was slightly better than expected, but a welcome 3 stars. There we go. Okay, going to look at another 3 star and a Town Hall 10 by Ball. So again, we're just doing a bit of funneling here, clearing up these side buildings so the witches can go straight into the base. And we're going to have a few stragglers down at the bottom, but we get most of the troops into the base. It's really difficult to tell, I find, in the early parts of these raids whether it's going to be on for a 3 stars or not. I mean, you look at it now, what troops there are, you think, well, not so sure, but there's plenty of witches in here. I think there's only 4, is there, down the bottom there, maybe? So we're just starting to overpower the base now. Okay, so once the splash damage defences are down, that's pretty much game over. There we go, excellent stuff. I think that was one of the first raids in the war as well, so that would have rocked the opposition a little bit. Okay, let's look at Alex's raid on the number 4. Again, this was towards the end of the war. So Clan Castle's gone over to one side, and that's probably going to be tied up out the way. So the outer buildings have pretty much gone now. The heroes can come in untouched until they get sort of into the core. Just started on the Barb King now. Alex waited to see where the buildings were going to be sort of remaining just on the outside of the core, so he wanted to get the golems in there, so put the jump basically next to the nearest defensive building on the inside. So that's a good shout. You know, I would have put it in the middle. There's a chance they could have gone elsewhere, but that's a good shout to put them at that corner. So there's your 2 stars. speed this up. The rest is just a few extra percentage points, so we'll not bother watching that. Good raid, Alex. Okay, last one I'm going to have a look at is Blades raid on there, number 1. Again, we're going in with Mass Witch. Very similar raid to the one Ball just did on the number 5. Tricky with the 2 multi Infernos. Just got the first one down. So it doesn't look like the troop's going to get to use this this jump spell. It's just stalling now, the raid. Okay, but we'll get a decent percentage because of these witches down here. Everything's hitting the skeletons. Okay, heroes down now. So I was just down to the witches. Okay, it's 83% on there, number 1. Top stuff. Okay, so that's going to wrap up the raids, guys, for this replay. Like I say, smashed them. So I think our where are we going now? Warlog, yeah, it's just that one that we should have really won, but failing that, we're doing pretty good. So looking forward to a decent war against Ecstasy War. I think it's supposed to be Ecstasy, but there we go. So we'll see what happens with this one, and we shall catch you on the next one.